Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter and that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Atlanta Season 1, Episode 4. It's called The Streisand Effect. Full spoilers for the episode as always. This one, similar to the last week's, had kind of two plot lines running through it.
Yeah.
And the first of which was Paperboy being harassed by an online blogger slash
Instagrammer slash.
Twitter user, tweeter.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do Twitter users have a name?
I don't know. Not in the same way, I don't think.
But yeah, so he's been harassed by him, and he actually meets him in person at the start. That's the opening scene. Is this Zan? I think he was
Zan, yeah.
going by. He comes up and he seems to be friendly enough, but kind of weird, like very sort of like forcing himself to be there when they clearly want him to go away, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. There's also a running joke going through that no one's exactly sure what race he is.
Yeah.
I thought he was Chinese when I saw him at first, but
Yeah.
but I could be slightly off. I don't know. It's hard to specify, but it looked Asian to me rather than
No, I
anything
get it.
else.
I mean, one of them says Chinese, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that really bothers Paperboy because he starts posting videos making fun of his music, and he starts posting little, like one of the videos he posts is like, oh, what you do when bad songs come on, and he throws like a dummy out of the car as if the song's
Yeah.
that bad that you would dive out a moving car. And Paperboy gets really upset about this to the point where he tracks him down
He really lets it get to him, doesn't he?
to go and speak to him. Yeah, it's one of these things where you know it's a bad idea. Like, you don't feed trolls. It's just that's what you don't do.
Yeah.
Um, and he's taking it really badly, and he's saying, "Oh, he's saying stuff this and stuff that," and it's like, well, if you're putting yourself out there in the public, you're putting your public image on a platform like you are with your music, then you're going to get criticism from certain people. But not to say what the guy's doing is right, because it's not. He's essentially harassing him by proxy, and so he tracks him down. He tracks Zan down, and he's a delivery boy. He does pizzas,
Yeah.
and he has a kid in the car with him who turns out not to be his child, but his business
Business
partner.
partner.
Yes, business partner, I believe is the phrase. And it's funny because this show has F-bombs and they don't censor them, but they censor what the kid says, which only lets your mind wonder how bad.
It's beeping just a constant beep for about
Yeah.
20 seconds while this kid goes off on one.
And it's funny because I think Paperboy at times I think is a little bit one note, but when he shines is when he's clearly like, judging something that's going on.
Yeah.
He has this thing where you see it in his eyes that he does not approve of what he's having this kid do. And then when they get to the location, he makes the kid go out and deliver the pizza, and the kid gets robbed, and he's like, did he just rob him? And he turns around and Zan is filming it on his phone so he can post it on something.
It also leads to my biggest laugh though, where the kid's like knocking on the door, like, give me my money back, and he's like yelling at him. He goes, "I know where you live."
Yeah, and even
It cracks me up.
it bleeps him again at one point there as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So, and that's kind of that whole story, and I feel like we have to analyze that a bit, and I'm not entirely sure.
It's kind of a strange journey, isn't it? It's the whole idea of people doing what they want on the internet and how it can affect people.
Yeah, it's because he's hustling, as he says. He uses the word hustling. That's his
Yeah.
word, and he says that he's doing this to make money, and it's what Paperboy's doing. He's using his position to make songs about it, and Paperboy's saying, but that's like I have to. This is the circumstance I'm in. I feel like I need to do this, where you don't necessarily have to, and but he sees that as just, and like. I guess the question I want to ask is, what is Paperboy's sort of the end of his journey when he gets out of that car in disgust and he walks away? Like, what is that journey that he's completed there? What has he learned?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think he's learned that there's a line to what he's willing to do. I mean, obviously, we've seen how he can act around other people and he can be threatening, but it seems to be, or at least seems to be, kids are the limit. Because obviously we saw it, I think it was episode 2, where the kids were doing the play shooting thing,
Yeah.
and that's when he kind of went in and intervened. And it's here. I think even though it was annoying him personally, I think he kind of understood the guy doing it to a degree, because like I said, it's kind of what he's doing with his rap,
But
but it's until he involves the kid.
but do you think it disgusted him even more because he understood it?
Yeah,
Like he sympathised with it, and that bothered him
yeah,
because he actually believes in better. He believes in being better than this. That kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now the other plot line follows Ern and Darius, and Ern's trading in his phone because he needs the money, and Darius talks him into getting the sword instead of the money because he says that he can get him more money with the sword. So then they go and trade the sword in, and instead of getting money, he gets a dog. He's like, yeah, no, we need to make one more stop. And he takes the dog to this guy, this farmer, by the looks of it,
Yeah,
and he gives the dog, and Aaron's like, alright, so you're going to get the money? And he's like, yeah, in September. Because they're going to breed the dogs,
boy.
and he's going to get paid per puppy, or whatever.
Yeah, he
down
gets
the line.
half of the
Yeah.
split. Yeah,
And that's for me, like, it almost, like, even though there's a little bit of uplifting stuff at the end when Darius, like, gives him his phone to trade in because he feels bad and he realises he needs the money, and there's like a sort of moment of friendship there. It is kind of a downer of an ending because it just gets kind of depressing as Aaron's like, no, I need that money to feed my child, like, today.
yeah,
And it's actually kind of like, the whole episode in a lot of ways is really depressing.
it is, because it's like the hustler needs the. You assume he's doing this because he needs the money.
Yeah.
The Paperboy is obviously in a down place because he's kind of very upset about the whole thing. Obviously, he talks about how he's doing rap because it's what he feels he needs to do in his situation. Is literally selling his phone out of desperation. Darius is kind of the only one who's all right with all this.
Yeah, I think he's just been involved in so much criminal activity. He's quite happy. He's comfortable where he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
So he's all right.
he's kind of just coasting on through, isn't he?
He is, oddly. But no, very very much a downer of an episode, but with a couple of laughs. But I think the moment at the end when Darius
Yeah,
like, he gives him the phone and says, "What, you're my friend," like, it's actually kind of a sweet moment.
yeah.
So no,
But I do think the idea of it being a more depressing episode played up the black humor bits a bit more. So like there wasn't as many as some of the other episodes, I don't think, but they made me laugh more, like the kid.
yeah, the kid was funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But no, that's Atlanta, episode 4. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. It helps us out a lot. Thank you very much for watching. And my cat really wants to get out, so I'm wrapping this up. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz, and we'll see you next time.